In today's episode, we're gonna talk about how billionaires feel about using money. I believe you must be wondering the same thing, right? I have a feeling you must have lost sleep thinking about it sometimes. What goes through their mind as they spray a bunch of $100 bills on a party, or spending some huge, ridiculous amount of money to buy that painting? Jeff Bezos, the richest man alive, spent a whopping $5.5 billion to be on space for just 4 minutes. He spent $5.5 billion in freaking 4 minutes. That's more than some countries' GDP. Well, it's the space. Maybe we might have cut him some slack. And what if I told you that somewhere out there a watch was sold for $50 million? Unbelievable, right? Well, the Graf Diamonds hallucination watch is real. And there are other billions of things billionaires spend money to acquire. This is an inspiration for future wealthy leaders. Well, stick with me and let's see what goes through their mind. Number 10. Future earnings. Yeah, you heard that right. Most of the billionaires spend with the thought that they're gonna make more money on that in the nearest future. Everything to them is business. You get this to get that. They already have a market and a rich set of friends to sell to once they get tired of owning it. And who wouldn't want to buy when someone like Jeff is the one selling? Definitely no one. Number 9. Risk management. In their journey to becoming billionaires, they must have made daredevil decisions. Kind of decisions would be likened to purposely falling off an airplane or cliff with a faulty parachute. They make these decisions with the thought that the possibility of them failing is high, but then again, they didn't come this far afraid of taking chances. You might care to know that they don't see things that turn about to be a bad event as being failures. Instead, they see it as a process of learning something new, an experience that will help them to shape their life, take lessons, and move on. We can't possibly say the same about others, right? Maybe. Number 8. It should belong to me. I have this great urge to call this being selfish, but then again, they do not see it that way. Instead, they think and see it as making a statement. A statement that they are in control. A kind of statement that literally translates to, hey, this is mine. No one but me deserves it. In most cases, they buy and keep it just for display. Imagine coming to the front porch of a man and you see the Bugatti La Voiture Noire, the costliest car in the world, parked at a vantage point in the villa. Well, how about that to tell you the kind of man you are coming to meet, huh? Number 7. They want to have fun. In most cases, they buy things just because they know they can buy them. They do it to please themselves. And to explain better, ever heard about Jeffrey Bolkia? Regarded as the man that spends the most in the entire world. He is the father of the Leicester footballer Faik Bolkai, the richest footballer and the prince of Brunei, an oil-rich Arab country, worth $30 billion. He owns 2,300 exotic cars, over 1,000 properties, hundreds of estates, and during his 50th birthday, he invited Michael Jackson to come down to his hometown and do a private concert for him and his family. Well, how about that for pleasing yourself? Number 6. Keeping them busy. You might ask, he's a billionaire already, so why the hell does he has to work again or get busy with anything? Well, the truth is that when they spend money, they are already calculating the process by which they are gonna get a return on investment in the nearest future. They actually do not relax to let some magic work for them. They think and act. They create hundreds of opportunities which they will use to build and make more money. The idea is simple. The more money they make and spend, the higher they want to earn and cover up the costs. Heck, keeping a high profile is costly. It comes with many other issues like paying taxes, maintenance of their numerous properties, and exotic possessions. This can cost thousands of dollars, sometimes running into millions, including their jet flights, vacations, and business operations. So, as they acquire and buy these things, the more money they know they need to make more to keep up with the costs. It's freaking high. Ever wondered why they say a rich man has no rest of mind? Well, I believe you now do know. Number 5. Instinct. If there is one thing billionaires trust more than anything, it's their instinct. That mind that tells them what to do and what not to do. They make decisions based on this instinct, and in most cases, it turns out to be a success. That instinct shows them something others can't see. Others are seeing a liability. His instinct is showing him a gold mine, something so valuable that it will make them turn out a success. They are seeing the impossible. The billionaire is nodding his head at how possible the mission is. While in most cases, these billionaires 99.5% of the time forgets and ignores what others say about that action of theirs and go ahead to do it. It has brought them thus far in the line of business, made them billions of dollars, and kept them in a high position in society. So why not trust that instinct when they want to make payment for that product or property? To hell with what others think. Between an instinct that helped them make decisions that generated loads of money for them and people that didn't add something to their revenue, who do you think they're gonna listen to? I'm sure you already know the answers to that. Sounds crazy, right? They honestly don't care. Number 4. More investments. One of the most important things in the mind of every billionaire is investments. More investments. The more investments they have, the more streams of income that they can boast of. They count everything they buy as an investment. That art, which they bought for a staggering amount of money, can be sold double the price if they pressed few buttons in the future. They already have the network which will help them to make that happen, so why not go ahead and spend that money? This idea gives them another view of money. They don't call it money, rather they call it tools. They see it as a tool that will help them to reach that stage in life they want to be in. It gives them the idea that there are other projects which will generate the money which they investing or spending. Think about construction workers. Plywood is a tool used for building, and construction workers know that the more plywood they have, the more building he's gonna erect with it. It sure makes sense. Number 3. Stand out. Who doesn't want to stand out when doing things? Everyone does, though not like billionaires. One of the reasons they spend a ridiculous amount of money is to stand out on every occasion. To them, standing out on occasions gives them the chance to acquire new prospects and opportunities. Imagine going to a VIP gala with a $50,000 three-piece suit. They didn't wear it just to impress the average viewer, but rather to impress their fellow rich folks. It's no secret that some kind of clothes gives a huge amount of boost and confidence to those wearing it. Billionaires are experts in sizing people up accurately. They know all the best designers and top products in the world, and the more dressed and composed you are, the more you get a chance to stand close to them. So to their fellow billionaires, they are like, why don't I spend $50,000 on that suit right there to get a chance of getting that $10 million contract? Easy peasy. Number 2. Unbothered. Rich folks seldom listen to people, including the top CEOs managing their various investments and establishments, or even their lawyers. They spend when the need arises and do things that their instinct tells them to do, even though it doesn't make sense to people around them, including experts and professionals. And in most cases, their minds turn out to be the ones to have them made excellent decisions, much to the amazement of everybody. They have this mindset that they have a right to spend their money no matter what anybody wants to think about it. Number 1. Very ambitious. If there is one thing that unifies all the billionaires in the world, it's the fact that every one of them is outrageously ambitious in seeking the things they set their eyes on. They take on propositions that others won't. They have this insatiable mindset and desire to acquire more. It's beautiful, right? Well, if you want to go a step further in being a millionaire or a billionaire, you might want to take lessons from them. If you learned something today and made it this far in the video, smash the like button and leave a comment below to tell us which part you loved the most. Thank you for tuning in and watching our videos. See you next time.